What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliate and scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and we cook up and we do work no matter where we are, no matter what city we fly to, no matter what hotel or Airbnb you find me in. No matter what the day of the week is, whether it's Monday through Friday, you're going to see me cooking up on the Millionaire Morning Show. So what's going on, friends and family? I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock out with us. And we cooking. We got a full show for you today. We don't have step. I know it's a Friday. No fumble on a Friday. Friday, July 7th, 2023. Year of our Lord. And even though I'm not in the studio, we're going to give you a very similar experience to what it is that you experience when I am in Detroit. So shout out to you guys. Did you guys check out the premiere of the video that I dropped last night? Yeah, you should have checked that out on the Anton Daniels channel. If you have not already, make sure you go back and watch that. And I was very vulnerable. You know, one of my superpowers is that I'm able to be vulnerable when other people aren't. When other people are trying to paint a picture or share an image or create a narrative, or they trying to sell you through their Instagram pictures, I'm going to just keep it 100. I'm going to keep it G 100% of the time. And so I shared some intimate details of my upbringing and my life and how it's affected me today and what my mindset is. And if you have not watched that, make sure you go back and watch that. It was pretty interesting. Like, I'm not afraid at all, but I'll get into that in a minute. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to the sponsor of the show, Tej Henley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Tej is in the building. They've been supporting the platform since day one. So shout out to Tej Henley. We appreciate you. You can see I am in my hotel room. I'm in Miami. When I stay in a hotel, I stay in a specific brand. But I decided to get out of Brickell, the design district. I'm only here for a day anyway. So I flew in late, got to take care of some business today. Then I got to fly out again, and I'm going to be in a completely different city tomorrow. And then obviously, you know, we got the Patreon meetup in New York next weekend. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. I might even bring a friend or two to come and kick it with y'all, but we'll see how that plays out. But again, thank you to Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. That link is in the description. If you're not a part of the Patreon, then you're missing out because I have a lot of things coming, including the Invest in Your Business series, where I will be giving away a significant amount of money in order for you to be able to get your business off the ground or for you to be able to vet that out effectively with no strings attached to that. So that comes in a couple months, and I'm looking forward to doing that. I got a whole series that I'm recording where I'm building a house, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the details, the numbers, the back end, and the accounts, the problems, the trouble, whether or not it's better for you to build a house, depending on where you are, or if you should just go and look for something turnkey, what the price difference is. So I share with you guys my real life, and I give you business advice based off of what it is that I'm experiencing every day, but I wouldn't talk about it unless I'm living it. It's called minding your business. If it's good enough for me to give you the advice for it, then at some point I should have executed on it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that's a bag chaser. Shout out to all of the early donations for the super chats. I'm gonna be reading those shortly. But make sure you tap into the Patreon. Make sure that you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, and make sure you share this with your family and friends. Because we don't miss. We never miss, ever. All right. Shout out to the chat. I appreciate y'all for holding me down and sharing the platform. I'm gonna be talking about a lot today. I'm gonna talk about the new Threads app. From an investment perspective, I am a long time holder in Meta, in which you guys notice, everybody that's been rocking out with me for over 2 years at least know that I've been a long term shareholder in Meta. When everybody else was down on the stock, I bought more of it, and they're up over 144% year to date, I believe. But we gonna get to that. We got Jalen Rose on the docket. We got Keke Palmer. We got Wynter Smith, Detroit. We gonna bring y'all to the front of the congregation. We got a lot of content that we need to go over today, so I don't want to waste any time. I do want to make sure that I acknowledge the early super chatters and the people that hold me down. Shout out to Mike, that dude, on Cash App. I appreciate y'all. I got a new animation that I'm putting together for y'all for that. Shout out to Mike Jones is in the building. I appreciate you, Mike Jones. Thank you, Mike Jones, for holding me down with the early 50 ball. The early 50 ball said, "Good morning, Anton. Feeling good on this Feel Good Friday. Your show, your content is the best on YouTube." I truly believe that. I don't believe y'all gassing me up on that. I believe that. Say, your show, your content is the best on YouTube. You said it best: when they're suffering, we're eating. That is my slogan for the rest of 2023. Now, that's our slogan for the rest of our life. You know what I'm saying? Got to give a shout out to Azriel66 and Mr. BX87. Shout out to Mike Jones. Let me go ahead and give him another applause. We appreciate Mike for holding us down. Thank you for hitting me off with my first super chat of the day and it being a 50 ball. I absolutely appreciate you, Mike. Mrs. Crotty Shetty is in the building with the 10 ball and just dropped it off and said thank you. I appreciate you. Look at that. My people is in the building. I never asked for Cash App, Super Chats, or PayPals. But again, you guys see value in what it is that we do here, and so I appreciate you guys holding me down. Let me also highlight Bam Bam Lynch in the building says, followed you on Threads and left a comment on a post. Shout out to everybody that's following me on Threads. If you want to find me on Threads, the link is in the description for you to be able to do so. I'm going to be breaking that down today. Deshaun Love is in the building. I appreciate you. Came through with the 20 ball, says, keep grinding, brother. I'm ready to join the Patreon. If y'all want to join the Patreon, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Do not waste time. Go ahead and get that bag up and then join your group and your tribe that's going in the direction that you're going in. Shout out to Self-Made Forever, says, we are born looking like our parents, but we die looking like our choices. Damn, that's kind of deep. We born looking like our parents, but we die looking like our choices. That's a bar. I might have to put that in a rap and drop it in an album. Shout out to Self-Made Forever. We appreciate you. I'm about to go ahead and cook up. I got a late checkout because I am a Platinum Elite member. Is it Titanium? I'm a Titanium Elite member over here with Marriott. So we run the checkup and we run the bag up on that. But I want to go ahead and get started with the show. But before I get started with the show, let me share with you guys a quick thought. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. What the hell? Hell of a name. What the hell? When I dropped the video last night where I was talking about some of the things that's happened that shaped me who I am today. And I'll just be frank. Like, one of the things that I talked about was losing my virginity at an early age. And I know that it comes with things. And shout out to the lead attorney. He came through and left a comment, checked out the video and everything like that. And it's two thoughts that I want to share with you with regard to that, especially when it comes to being vulnerable, especially when it comes, actually three thoughts, especially when it comes to being vulnerable, especially when it comes to sharing who you are and being an open book. And I've always prided myself on living my life like an open book. So that you can benefit from the information that comes along with it. And B, I think that we need more leaders, and those that have a microphone need to be more transparent with who they are instead of trying to sell you a narrative that'll help you get a bag, right? I think that it's important for you to add value into people's lives, and then you're rewarded as a result of it, right? But it's three things that I want to share with you with regard to that, right? A, if you're going to be a content creator, you're going to have to deal with whatever comes along with it, right? I see a lot of people, including a lot of these TikTokers. And I don't know if y'all remember, but it was a TikToker that was a therapist. She was a licensed therapist, and she came on the platform and she was talking all kind of crazy shit to men. She was showing her titties. Obviously, she was for the streets and all of that other type of stuff. And then a week later, after she had received a lot of pushback from people because she shared her opinion online, and then obviously people shared their thoughts as a result of it, she had lost her job, which I'm not an advocate for anybody losing a job, but she didn't seem like the type of person that should be giving advice as a therapist in the first place. But when you decide that you want to jump on these platforms and become a content creator, you have to understand that it comes with a huge level of responsibility. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You're not going to undo the video that you dropped. You can't make people stop reacting to what it is that you talked about. And then now you are now signing up to be a public figure. And so I know everybody want to be famous. I know everybody want to jump on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, now Threads and Twitter, and then have your opinion and say whatever you want to say. But it's consequences, both good and bad, that come along with that. You got to be prepared for that, right? The second thing that I want to say is with regard to the video last night. I know a lot of people in my comments, and I expected this because I've heard it before, and there's people that's really trying to convince me, Anton, you were a victim. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Regardless of how you feel, regardless of whether or not you agree, and again, I implore you guys to go back and watch that video. I am not a victim. I'm not. I never was a victim. I'm never going to be a victim. Even when things happen to me in my life, I don't run around with a victim mentality because my father has always beat into my head, not physically, but seriously, he's always tried to make sure that I understand that life is only 10% of what happens to you, maybe even less. But let's err on the side of, the most egregious things that's going on. The Bible said it rains on the just and the unjust. And I read my Bible every single day. And so if you walk around, let's just say something happened to you and it wasn't your fault and you just literally a victim of circumstance, right? The reason why I hate the word victim is because it makes and it gives you an excuse not to continue to push forward. So it's not to say that things don't happen to you or it's justified or whatever, so on and so forth. I'm just telling you that's life. And life is going to keep lifing regardless of how you feel about it. And just because you want to sit in the bed and you want to mourn about it or you want to fall into whatever it is that makes you feel bad about it and you want to keep living it and reliving it and want to go to therapy and all this other type of stuff, get over that shit. And the reason why you got to get over it is because nothing is going to stop just because you feeling bad about the situation, right? And when you walk around with a victim mentality, you literally handicap yourself and you prevent yourself from continuing to push forward and be successful. We're supposed to go through things, especially if you're a man. Especially if you're a man. You're supposed to go through things. Life was never meant for it to be peaches and cream and fuzzy and all of this other type of stuff. As a matter of fact, every time that I do a yearly recap and it's the end of the year and I'm anticipating what next year is going to be, we all have these great, grandiose ideas of how much more successful and greater we're going to be as a result of it. But we never take into consideration that, damn, it might be some hard things that's coming along that I don't even know what's going to come, but I'm going to have to deal with that shit. We don't plan for that part. We only plan for the part that makes us feel good. And we put all of our New Year's resolutions and everything like that. But guess what? Somebody is going to turn on you. And somebody is going to lie on you. And somebody is going to make up a story about you. And then it's going to start to take on legs of its own. And then it's going to have some validity to it because a lot of people said it. And because when a lot of people say something, that means that it's true. Not really, but that's just life. Life is life. And somebody gonna talk about you behind your back. And guess what? You probably gonna be one of the people that talk about me behind my back. You're gonna be with me today and then you're gonna turn on me tomorrow. That's life, right? Things happen. You're gonna fall and scrape your knee. Your chick is gonna slap you in the face and then you might have to, ooh-wee. And then you might have to pull back as a result of it. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. Pivot, change, adjust, control yourself, right? Those are the characteristics that then make you rich, that then make you successful, that allows for you to be in a position to be able to pour into other people. Last, but certainly not least, right? I'm never ashamed. And this is one of the biggest things that I want y'all to take away from this conversation, especially considering the video that I dropped last night. I'm never going to be ashamed of the things that I've done that's good or the things that's good for me. I'll give you an example. You know, I like to wear the fact that I was raised in a church and the fact that I really love God and I believe in Jesus Christ on my sleeve. And last night I said some things that some people were surprised that I said. I said, yo, I've been saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost since I was 11 years old. Right? And I made some really egregious decisions as a person that was cognizant and a person that was self-aware of the things that I was doing and the decisions that I was making. Shortly thereafter, I got saved 2 days before my birthday on April 11th. But people were less concerned and focused on the things that I was saying as a result of the decisions that I was making, and they was more appalled or more surprised at the idea that I would even mention the fact that I got saved in the first place. As though that's a bad thing. As though being raised in a church with two parents that care for you, that hold you accountable, or you might have got a couple whoopings when you was younger and you appreciate it. Somehow, some way, we've perverted life for it to be in the reverse, and that we're supposed to be quiet about the things that we love and the things that happened that was the best to us. One of the greatest decisions that ever happened in my life, one of the greatest things that ever happened in my life is the fact that I got God on my side, and the fact that I got saved, and the fact that I was raised in a church, and my parents was adamant about me reading the Bible and me learning the books of the Bible and Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings. All of that stuff was meaningful to me, and the things that they put into me when I was younger is still sticking with me today. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to make bad decisions, or you're not going to make mistakes, or you're not going to be perfect, right? And this is one of the things that I want y'all to understand, that just because you do things that may not be aligned with the way that you were raised does not mean that life is over and that people can hold that against you. It doesn't make you a worse person. It means that your parents and the church gave you the tools that allows for you to withstand and then hold fast for something to come back to, right? You got that foundation, you got the thing that you stand on that you come back to, even when you make decisions that's not in your best interest or it's not conducive for the direction that you're going in your life, right? Honor your parents. Acknowledge the things that they done well. I see so many guys, they come up on a coaching session and they get on the phone with me and they say, well, my father told me this when I was young. And I was like, oh, okay, so your father just appeared one day and told you that and left in your life? Oh, no, he was always there. Oh, he put food in your belly? Yeah, yeah. Did he go to work every day? Oh, yeah. Did he take care of you? Yeah. Did he give you shelter? Of course. Did he give you the lessons that you needed in order to be a strong man and was an example of the thing that you were supposed to be when you grow up? Oh, yeah. But you focused 100% on the thing that you can become a victim in, right? And because we focus so much on the negative and we're so busy trying to be politically correct to make everybody else comfortable around us, you can't make people uncomfortable enough to actually do the thing that's in their best interest. So all I'm telling you right now is, A, you're not a victim. B, lean into the thing that you were taught Even today, the things that you taught every single day that makes you a better version of yourself, right? And then C, if you decide to get into this game, don't be afraid to be unapologetically right and unapologetic about the fact that you're going in this direction, because this is a completely different game that we're getting into. This is uncharted territory for a lot of people because they don't know what it means in order to be a content creator. Everybody want to have a microphone and an opinion, but everybody don't want the consequences that come along with it. All right. So I just want to share that with you guys really quickly. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Shout out to everybody that's a part of this live stream. I'm very, very grateful to be standing before you today. It is a No Fumble on Fridays. Some of y'all got paid today. A lot of y'all gonna go out here and trick off on these hoes. Let me tell you, have a level of dick discipline. Don't focus on the thing that's in front of you. Focus on the repercussions that's gonna come along with it. And let's get to it. So again, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna be reading super chats throughout the show. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. It's about to get real dirty right now. We're going to talk about some money. We're going to talk about some streets. Detroit, I got to bring y'all to the front of the congregation. See, a lot of people think that Anton don't bring Detroit to the front of the congregation. Actually, you know what? I wasn't even going to start with that, but I am going to start with that. All right? I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. My hometown, Detroit. Actually, this didn't even happen in Detroit, but they wanted to make it seem like it was Detroit, but we're going to get into that. I'm going to break down the details. Wynter Smith. So the other day, I am laying in the bed, and I got that alert. You know how you get that alert on your phone or whatever like that. And I got that alert, right? And it said 2-year-old missing, whatever, so on and so forth. For most of us, just ignore that alert because, you know, it's just annoying. Some of us read it. A lot of us ignore it. But Rita was like, yo, did you see that alert about this 2-year-old that's missing? And it was like a big deal. I don't know whether or not it got any national attention or anything like that, but it was a big deal here in Michigan, right? And so it was a 2-year-old girl that was missing, okay? And it went on for days, and there was a manhunt and all of this other type of stuff. A little black girl, right? And so recently, they found her. And I almost didn't do this story today because it's one thing for us to take into consideration, you know, these people that's a part of the alphabet community that happened in Philly. Black kids and teens and stuff standing on cars over there in Chicago and what's happening over there on the south side, right? What happened down there in Fort Worth, Texas, Arkansas, New York, LA, it's happening all over, right? But when it comes to the babies, you know, it's something that just tugs at your heart. But it's some details that's a part of this. This is one of the reasons why I want to bring this to the front of the congregation. There's some details that's a part of this news story that I think is very, very important, and for us to show you why it's important for us to make adjustments within our culture, right? Because the easy story would be, oh, okay, well, it shouldn't have happened. Hold them accountable. I can't believe what happened to our babies, right? But there's some other underlying issues that we don't want to address and we don't want to have the conversation about that I believe that we need to bring to the front of the congregation. So without further ado, I'm gonna just go ahead and share some of the stuff that's going on. Again, make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is the greatest show on earth, bar none. Make sure y'all get the likes up there a little low.
And Dave, I imagine there was a very large crowd because so many people have been just touched by this situation.
Yeah, no doubt about that. From social media, people seeing news broadcasts of this all, not just across Michigan, but really around the country. So many people hoping that this was not the result. And while the FBI works on this case at the field office here in downtown Detroit, community members all across Detroit and beyond, they're trying to sort through their emotions. And tonight was one where they just let out all their pain.
This is not us. This is not us. This is not black people. This is not Detroit.
Raw grief and outrage on Detroit's east side as community groups come together for an emotional vigil honoring little Wynter Smith of Lansing.
So let me stop there for a second because I'm going to play this, but I want to break some stuff down, okay? This happened in Lansing, all right? Lansing is far from Detroit. However, her body just so happened to be found in Detroit. I want to add some details because a lot of people has never been to Michigan and they think a certain type of way, but this happened in Lansing, but he's going to break that down, all right? The second thing that I want to have a conversation about is a lot of people say this is not the culture, right? And we like to do a lot of protesting and we like to do a lot of coming together and making a lot of noise, but we don't like to actually address the real issues that's happening within our culture and our community, which means that it's going to keep happening because just because you hold a vigil or you hold a protest in which, listen, if it's anybody that deserves a vigil, it's this little girl, this little 2-year-old girl who didn't even have the opportunity to live her life. But the question that we have to ask ourselves is a very uncomfortable one, and I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it today. But let me continue to play this.
Her name? Whose baby? Whose baby?
The precious 2-year-old's body was discovered in a nearby alley by Irwin Street after an exhaustive 3-day search. Wynter went missing after suspect Rashad Trice waged a violent stabbing attack against her mother.
So, now we get more details. Let me rewind it for you because I want you to see this one more time, okay? Allie, her body, a 2-year-old girl's body found in an alley, driven from Lansing, dumped in Detroit, found in an alley. And I'm going to be very matter of fact about this conversation because you need to really understand the gruesome details that come along with this so that we understand exactly what the culture is promoting right now, okay? And there's some underlying things. Shout out to Self-Made Forever. I'm gonna read that super chat shortly. Some underlying issues. Detroit, Lansing, Michigan, black culture. We all coming to the front of the congregation right now, okay? Okay? Let me rewind this a little bit so you can get some details.
Wynter went missing after suspect Rashad Trice waged a violent stabbing attack against her mother, according to investigators. Law enforcement pinged his cell phone and tracked his drive to Metro Detroit, eventually being led to this spot.
Let me let you know this. It is a fact. Evil transcends all color lines. You never know when evil may show up. You may be living with evil.
There's been too many of these, Detroit. Yes. I'm sick of seeing it. Black men, I'm sick of seeing it.
I'm gonna fast forward it past this part. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And you'll realize why I'm fast forwarding it past that part. Because A, that didn't happen in Detroit. It didn't happen in Detroit. But there's other factors that go along with this because that wasn't even his daughter. But let's continue.
Balloons, teddy bears, and symbols of love marked the very same spot where just 24 hours before, the FBI joined Detroit police in launching a massive crime scene as the most feared possibility came true. A family's desperate cling to hope, crashing down into stunning sadness. Wynter's aunt told the crowd how much the outpouring of love means to them.
And on behalf of the family of Wynter Smith, we would like to thank every one of you. Each and every one of you, every friend, every family member, every organization, everyone that's standing here today, we'd like to thank you. We're so grateful for all of your support. We're so grateful for all of your love, your condolences.
That's why my heart is filled with praise.
There were songs of praise and then a release of balloons into the heavens as so many still ponder the big question, why?
They killing women, because they don't want to be with you. I mean, they doing things like this, killing the babies just to torture the mother. When does it end?
This is supposed to be a vigil for the little girl. This is supposed to be a vigil for the 2-year-old. But we will never, ever forego an opportunity to place this blame on men solely. We will never, ever find it don't matter if it's the culture. It don't matter about the details of the mother. It don't matter who it is that she chose. But let me continue to play it, and then we gonna mine this out shortly.
That is certainly the question indeed. Now, we do know that Wynter's immediate family will be down in that very same spot tomorrow night holding a vigil. And Pastor Mo's group and many others, they say they're going to be right there tomorrow night. They say you simply cannot show enough love to this family, and that's exactly what they intend to do, to keep that love, that outpouring going. Live in downtown Detroit, Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Well, and hopefully, you know, in coming days, we are going to learn more charges against the suspect. It won't bring this baby back, but certainly bring some justice for this family. But we know he was a known violent offender that was on probation at the time of this alleged crime. We hear family and other people out there saying more needs to be done to keep these violent offenders behind bars longer so they can't go back out and commit these sort of crimes.
Wait. I thought that y'all wanted to have these people released. I thought that every other corner and every other Instagram post and every other rap song we saying free Ray Ray. I thought we wanted to free the people. I thought that one of the things that Jay-Z has donated his money, because a lot of y'all like to reference these rappers, I thought that one of the things that we was advocating for is to release more people because y'all are locking up people for too long. But now we want to have conversations about more things need to be done about violent offenders, when one of the things that Jay-Z specifically and Beyonce put up their money for was to have more of these people released. We're going to have some uncomfortable conversations. Let me share with you another video really quickly that gives you even more details about the man and her father, her real father. Let me share this with y'all because it's a whole story that needs to be told here. Not a half one, but a whole one.
But he was hoping for this kind of an outcome. But about 24 hours ago, this is where the discovery was made of Wynter's body in this alley here. But as you can see, there is a memorial. And I'll tell you, when I was here this morning, there was nothing. And now you can see even the Detroit Police Department, they showed up and put a balloon and a stuffed bear on that memorial. And there's going to be a vigil later on. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But it was a very sad day. It was a day for mourning. People finding out that little Wynter Smith, just 2 years old, was found dead. Not the result that anybody wanted. And yes, I did have a chance to talk to the family. It's heartbreaking, but take a look.
Why me?
This is the birth father before we even hear anything. I want you to listen. I feel for the family's pain, but we need to have some uncomfortable conversations here today. I know that y'all don't necessarily agree with me. I know that y'all gonna say that Anton is not doing the thing that we want him to do in order to make us feel better about the situation. But let me help you to see, let me help you to understand something, and let me help you to see something. I'm not here to make you feel good about it. I'm here to get to the root cause of the issue. This is the original baby father.
Wow.
A.J. Smith, the father of 2-year-old Wynter Cole Smith.
I'm angry that she's gone. I'm angry she had to deal with that. I'm sad I didn't get to see her. I'm sad I don't get to be with her. I'm sad I wasn't here for her.
So many emotions for this 24-year-old senior at the University of Tennessee Martin, a receiver for the football team and trying to further himself to have made a better life for himself and Wynter.
My son, he worked so hard to go to college to play football so he could live a dream for him and Wynter.
I used to keep some stuff and then tell her mom like I lost it, like I forgot to pack it. And I'm glad I did, so I can hold on to it.
The little memories are so big now that 2-year-old Wynter was found by FBI agents Wednesday night in the alley on Detroit's east side after a 3-day search that spanned over 90 miles from Lansing to St. Clair Shores. You've got flyers, Bring Wynter Home. When you look at them now, what goes through your mind?
It hurts.
How could somebody harm a little child? Like, how could you see yourself like on top of a child or hurting a child or whatever he did to her? We don't know, but he killed her and we don't know how he did it. But how can you like just fight a kid? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of this just doesn't feel real. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Obviously, the father, AJ, very broken up, just talking, and he's got a lot to think about. But people want to know what happened to Wynter. We may never know that. Now, there is a suspect in custody. This is the same suspect that was arraigned yesterday for allegedly stabbing and sexually assaulting the mother. Although we talked to the prosecutor's office today, no new charges relating to the kidnapping and ultimate murder that could come later on. We are here tonight because there's going to be a vigil right pretty much where I'm standing. You can already see residents here and people from across the area coming here to pay their respects to a little 2-year-old named Wynter, who inspires people just to be good and just think about what happened. And again, we may never know the true story, but it's very sad. I have to say, Rupa covered a lot of stories here, and it's very emotional.
I want to share something with y'all really quickly. Really quickly. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and then I want you guys to tell me what you think. All right? I'm going to share my screen with you, and then I want you to tell me what you think. Give me a second. Let me blow this up. Here comes the uncomfortable conversation that y'all don't want to have. I get it. So, the suspect had multiple run-ins with police agencies in recent years. Okay? Let's continue. The man accused of abducting a 2-year-old girl found dead Wednesday on Detroit's east side, which St. Clair Shore is not Detroit. It is a suburb outside of Detroit, but we're going to continue. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Here comes the uncomfortable conversation. After allegedly sexually assaulting her mother, has a violent criminal past that includes domestic violence, assault, and resisting and obstructing police in at least 5 Michigan counties. Detroiter Rashad, 26, now faces multiple charges in a 6th County, Macomb, for allegedly fleeing and eluding police in St. Clair Shores, slamming into a police cruiser and attempting to disarm an East Point police officer when he was arrested hours after Lansing police said he snatched the daughter of an ex-girlfriend. She wasn't with the child's father. And then she decided to get into a relationship at some point with Rashad. The abduction late Sunday triggered a middle-of-the-night Amber Alert. We know about that. Trice is a habitual offender and had run-ins with police in Clinton, Ingham, Livingston, Monroe, and Wayne counties, and incidents that range from driving violations to felonious assault to assaulting police officers with a motor vehicle, according to court records. This is him. This is the woman, or this is the man that our women are choosing to have in their children's lives and rock out with them. This is the face of a monster, and then ultimately the man that our women are choosing to be in relationships with. Oh, Anton, you shouldn't be saying that. Do we want to get to the root cause of the problem? When Anton said everybody shouldn't be having children, everybody not prepared for it, you can't afford it, you picking the wrong people, Too many people are coming together, so now we got to have an uncomfortable conversation about the Amber Alert that we received late in the middle of the night because nobody wants to get to the root issue of the cause. No, we just going to blame it on men. We going to blame it on men, right? Okay, let's continue. Court records show he was first sentenced to 224 days in jail for domestic violence and had attempted resisting, assaulting, and obstructing a police officer. May 23rd, 2021, a week later, arrested for obstructing police in Clinton County. He was sentenced to attempted assaulting, resisting, and obstructing police, was given a year in jail for that offense. 2021, August, charged again with assault, obstructing Michigan State Police. After the incident in Handy Township near Fowlerville, pled guilty and admitted in court records that he fled police officers in a motor vehicle, assaulted 2 police officers with a motor vehicle, resisted, obstructed 2 police officers, operated a motor vehicle without a license in Livingston County. 2 years probation is what he got. Shout out to all of the people that advocated for keeping all of our criminals free. Felonious assault, assaulting, resisting, obstructing the police, 6 counts. Arrested less than 3 months later by Lansing police for fleeing police misdemeanor assault. Court records show sentenced to 93 days in jail. That's it. Ingham County, sexually assaulting, physically assaulting ex-girlfriend in her Lansing apartment before stealing her car and kidnapping her toddler. Investigation is ongoing. He was on probation through 2024. Violated probation. This is unfortunate. This is very much unfortunate. Long list of issues as a motorist over the years. We're not even going to go into all of that, right? Here's my question as we go through this, right? As we had this conversation. We're going to leave him up for a minute. Here's my question. A, how is this my fault? How is this my fault? As a person that is a law-abiding citizen, has never had children out of wedlock, gives you information on a regular basis on how you can improve yourself as a tax-paying citizen and pour into my community, how is this men's fault? How is this black men's fault? Why do women continue to get in relationships with men that they're not prepared to marry, don't want to marry before they carry, and then now we have to have a conversation, an uncomfortable conversation, because we're embracing parts of the culture that's not best for us. When I said y'all need to close y'all legs, nobody wanted to have a conversation. They said, don't police our pussy. When I said have a level of dick discipline, they said shut the fuck up, you're not the dick police. When I said we need to divest ourselves from the culture and stop having children out of wedlock, they said, Anton, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You already aged out. You've been married for too long. When I said that the things that we embrace the most and that women are choosing wrong, they said that, no, Anton, now look at it. Now look at what we are. We're in a situation where all of our worst nightmares, where I don't know anybody, not one person in the chat, wants to see this happen and is saying that the little girl is the one that should have paid the price for all of the egregious decisions that we're embracing and we're championing and we're highlighting within the culture. And you know what the end result is going to be? Let me tell you what the end result is going to be. It's our fault. It's the men's fault. It's always going to come back down to you. You want to know the truth? You want to know the real truth? That might be a little bit too uncomfortable. Do you want to know the real truth? The God's honest truth? This young man right here,
but he was hoping.
They don't want me to say this part, but I'm going to say it. This young man right here, never should have been having children in the first place. That's the God's honest truth. The mother, who we're going to have a level of respect for, and we're going to hide her privacy in order to ensure that, she can grieve, never should have been in a relationship and having children with men that she's not supposed to be with in the first place. She never should have ever been talking to ex-offenders in the first place. You can't have children and then say, I want to figure out how it is that I want to better myself in order to put my children in the best position possible. Unfortunately, every last one of these people that's a part of this story should have never even been in a position to have children in the first place. I don't want to hear about protecting the child. The child should have never been in the position to have to suffer at the hands of the parents that made the worst decisions in the first place. That's the uncomfortable conversation that nobody wants to have, because it is not PC enough for us to tell the absolute positive truth. But I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Everybody want to have sex, but nobody wants to have the uncomfortable conversation about what happens when you have sex. You know what it says? You know what the word of God says? It's the children that pays for the transgression of their parents. Every single person, every person is responsible for what is happening right now in the fallout. Every single person that participated. The criminal, the biological father, because he never should have been with that chick in the first place, and then the mother for who it is that she chose to have children with. That's the uncomfortable truth. And it's unfortunate because this little girl right now is the only person that pays the price for it. It's similar to what happened in Chicago. It's similar to what happened in Chicago. The 14-year-old boy is the real victim. The 2-year-old girl is the real victim. All of these people are the ones that get to mourn. They get to mourn. Everybody get to listen. We all come together. Let me show you what we do. Let me show you what black people do. This is what black people do right here.
Dave, I imagine there was
This is not us. This is not black people. This is not Detroit.
Raw grief and outrage on Detroit's east side as community groups come together.
I don't want to see nothing from your community groups. I don't want to see no more balloons. I don't want to see no teddy bears on light poles. I don't want to see y'all releasing nothing into the air. I don't want to see y'all having no protest talking about what's her name. I don't want to see you niggas on the street no more. Until we really start addressing the issue and the problems that's happening, plaguing in the communities, getting to the root cause of the issue, I don't want to see nobody with a Moorish hat on. I don't want to see no Hebrew Israelites running around with a bullhorn. I don't want to see nobody pitching no new plans. I don't want to see nothing. I want to see y'all celibate, shutting the fuck up, fixing yourselves, fixing your lives, fixing y'all communities and the environments that y'all then bringing these children into. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I should have been politically correct. It's okay. It's all right. I should have been politically correct. Let's continue. Rest in peace to Wynter. I hope that her family gets a level of somehow, some way gets peace. But I'm not going to y'all marches. I'm not going to nobody else's marches. Straight up. She the only person that had to pay the price for this shit that we seeing happening right here. The only person that had to pay the price for it. And I hate that I even had to start with that story. Let me read a few super chats and then we're going to continue. What the hell is in the building? Says, rest in peace, Wynter. Facts. Rest in peace, Wynter. Self-Made Forever is in the building. Says, did you see the NYC pod apartments for $16,000 a month? I did see that. And I contemplated actually doing that, but I'm going to save that for Monday because we had some other issues that we need to talk about. They building it in a pod and they building it in a triangle. Yep, I did see it. I contemplated playing it, but then they had too much music and I didn't want it to mess the stream up. So we're going to talk about that. Shout out to Selfmade Forever is in the building. Jay Tay, shout out to Jay Tay, says, Anton, is Revolt still not dropping your interview? Nah, I got the original interview. It aired live on TV. And then they got a new digital platform that they launching, and they want to start with whatever it is that we put together. And so it's going to be crazy. But yeah, that's coming soon. Shout out to Jay Tay. I appreciate you. Don Blackwell is in the building. Shout out to Don. Says Pookie and Ray Ray always got places to stay. Why do these women support them so much? I have no clue. I have no clue whatsoever. Shout out to my dog Razik is in the building. Says chicks love thugs, yo. Thugs reign supreme. Jay Tay, what up though? I appreciate you, big dog. Says women love street dudes, but then don't understand his behavior comes along with it, but then want the hood ones to come along and save them from the situation that they put themselves in. Everybody gonna have to be held accountable. Everybody gonna have to be coming to the front of the congregation. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Who was Aoki Lee Simmons? And what does this have to do with Keke Palmer? Shout out to somebody that actually sent this to me on Instagram. Who is Aoki Lee Simmons? And if you guessed it correctly. It is the daughter of Russell Simmons. You know, the Russell Simmons that we brought to the front of the congregation a couple weeks ago that's overseas, that allegedly ran from potential charges of doing things sexually with women that he's accused of, but is hanging out in other countries that doesn't extradite. Yeah, that one. You know, the one that Kimora Lee Simmons went on and started telling all of the fucking business, talking about how he's broke and he don't contribute, and she was running in the Victim Olympics, and his daughters is now estranged, and even though they're grown and adults and graduating from Harvard, they got everything that they needed and they've been divorced for a long time. She didn't bring herself to the front of the congregation. She brought all of the blame on Russell, right? And so we largely left the kids out of it because, you know, we grown folks over here. This is the Millionaire Morning Show. Shout out to Mine Right. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. We grown folks over here, so we don't really involve ourselves in what these little children is doing. But then somebody sent this to me in relation to the whole Keke Palmer incident. Now, let me re-jog your memory shortly, right? So with the whole Keke Palmer incident, she just had a recent child, right? Was with her boyfriend allegedly for over 2 years. Had a child out of wedlock. Neither here nor there. But this man allegedly was trying to be the best father possible, and Keke Palmer was out here with her whole ass out at an Usher concert, embarrassing this man. That's the short version, all right? And so the internet sided with Keke. Do you love Keke? They sided with Akilah and the B. And they went after this man. And allegedly they unfollowed each other and everything like that. But here's the real tragedy in this whole situation is that whenever something on social media starts to show itself, A, it always comes back down to the money. And B, you get to understand exactly who people truly are. Because when people start to give their opinions or when people are starting to be aligning themselves on one way or the other, you start to see the true nature and the true character of a person. So I'm going to share with you something really quickly. And why this is important for us to have this conversation. This is one of the daughters of Russell Simmons, who her mother, Kimora Lee Simmons, was advocating is so awesome and so innocent. And this is what she's had to say as a result of what happens or the fallout with regard to Keke Palmer and her baby daddy.
I just want to say I don't know Keke Palmer's boyfriend. I don't know anything about him really, besides the current thing. But let me just say, I hate that man. I pray and plot on his downfall.
Can we stop it there for a moment and have a moment of silence for all of our culture? Can we pray and have a moment of silence and help y'all to understand that just because you have money, it doesn't actually, bring out good character. Just because you send people to a certain school, you send them to Harvard, right? Just because their parents is famous, it doesn't necessarily translate into them being good people, right? Just because you have kids don't mean that you don't have to raise them correctly and be a presence in their life, and that they actually need people in their lives as mentors for them to be able to do the thing that makes them the best. This woman said, this is a woman. This is not a child. This is a woman that is in college, that is about to graduate, and saying that she hates a man that she does not know, admittedly, and she prays for his downfall. You know, the innocent kids that Kamorley Simmons was mad at Russell Simmons, even though they're in college and above the age of 18 and they're graduating college, that she was mad at them for cutting him off. This is one of the daughters. See, everybody is a victim until you see exactly what it is that you're dealing with. And what y'all don't understand is that these people are people just like everybody else. It looked like the likes is a little bit light. We got over 1,500 people in here. We going to 1,600 soon, and the likes is off. Let me go ahead and play a Teach commercial. Do we got to go to the Teach? 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Have y'all subscribed to the Patreon? Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Please don't make me go to a Teach commercial, and we approaching 1,600 right now. Let me rewind this really quickly and help you to see who this woman is really quickly. She talked with a lisp. And this is what she got to say about this young man. Now, the young man didn't say anything out of order. All he said was, but you a mom, no. And I don't want my chick out here looking like she for the streets. I don't want my kid out here eventually seeing the video that you out here and got your whole ass out in front of Usher and I'm supposed to be your boyfriend. Because you out there with your friends that's not actually holding you accountable. I want my chick to be for me, not for the streets. That's all he said. And this is what she got to say.
Really, besides the current thing, but let me just say, I hate that man. I pray and plot on his downfall. I hate him. I'm disgusted. I think when my friend told me that, we were just like sitting and I was like, what? I would love the chance to like punch that man. Like who?
She prays for his downfall. She hates him. And she would love the chance. I see the super chats. I'm going to be reading that shortly. I had to take a sip of water for that one. She would love the chance to punch him, to put her hands on a man that she don't know because he advocated for the mother of his child to not go viral on social media with her whole ass out. This is the culture. These are the people that are going to be having children. This is the tastemakers in our society. These are the people that are in our colleges getting educated. On TikTok and Instagram and all of these other platforms with a strong opinion. And you know how we know that she's wrong? Because she actually edited and then deleted the video off of her TikTok because she didn't want to get painted in a certain light. But the minute that you picked up that phone and you said it, because see, some of y'all get mad and you pick up your phone and you start talking, and you know what happens? The real you come out. The real you see, a visceral reaction happens as a result of you feeling a certain type of way, and so you start getting that energy out. And so this is the ones, because she's not an ugly girl. These are the women that y'all are meeting on these apps. You swipe left, you swipe right, right? These are the type of women that y'all are running into today and that your son is going to have to face. She wants to hurt this man. She wants to punch him in the face. She hates him, and she's plotting on his downfall. Let's continue.
I am appalled. No couth, not one drop of couth. Like, there's so many things wrong with it, but the way he did it was insane. What he had to say was fucking stupid, and the way he did it was so unhinged, and the follow-up was unhinged. Don't ever talk about Akila again. Ever. Disgusting. And it makes me sick, because she gave that man a beautiful child.
So because you had a baby, that gives you a license to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. Your friends not going to hold you accountable. Your mama not going to hold you accountable. The people that follow you on social media is not going to hold you accountable. Because let's be clear. When I do something that y'all don't agree with, right, all I ask for y'all to do is not be disrespectful. We at 1,600. We going to 1,700. Y'all sharing this with y'all friends and family. I need y'all to hit a like for the YouTube algorithm because the likes is a little low. Let's be clear. It's a lot of people that subscribe to this channel that is in my chat right now, and on a regular basis, they disagree with me. The one thing that y'all can't say, is that over here and on the Patreon and on the Anton Daniels channel and the Millionaire Morning Show, we have some fundamental disagreements. And you know what I tell the moderators in the chat? Don't ban them. Don't remove their comment. As long as they're not disrespectful, let them have their opinion because I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong and I'm willing to be accountable for the things that I say. Even to the point to where last weekend and the weekend before, I had to bring myself to the front of the congregation, especially on Fight Club, and said, you know what? I apologize. I was wrong about this, A, B, and C. But all y'all do is continue to put battery in these hoes' backs. All y'all do is put batteries in these hoes' backs and you enabling bad behavior. And these are the guys, or the guys. Yeah, because she masculine as fuck. These are the girls that's going to wind up having y'all children. And then y'all going to be coming on Fight Club talking about my baby mama, my baby mama. But she was Russell Simmons' daughter.
And he is yapping on the internet? Why do men talk? Ever. Just never talk again. Anyway, go watch Keke's Kamala Harris interview because she's so cute and so wonderful and asks all the questions that we want answers to. So,
watch this. Let me share something with y'all really quickly. Give me a second. Let me tell y'all why it's so important for us to have these conversations. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull this up. There we go. I'm going to be reading your super chat shortly. Let me tell you why it's important for us to have these conversations, all right? This is her. I hate TikTok. I absolutely despise TikTok. But let me show you who she is, y'all. Hold on, let me see. I don't know if y'all noticed, but look how skimpy she's dressed. If you know, you know. If you see it, you see it. Look at how she's moving. Now, listen. This right here, I skipped through a few of them. These right here, she's literally has no clothes on. She's dancing. She's showing all of her assets, so to speak. This is what it is that we seeing out here in these streets.
Ariana, what are you doing here?
This is what you see out here in these. This is Russell Simmons' daughter, Kamora Lee Simmons' daughter, out here in these streets, showing her little tatas and all of that other type of stuff. And guess what? On this platform alone, she already got 227,000 followers, 4 million likes. And she's a model, Harvarding, embarrassing. This is y'all queen. This is y'all queen. This is who the person that y'all love. Y'all gonna follow. Y'all gonna say, yes, boo. Let's look at the comments really quickly. Let me see.
I just want to say, I don't know Keke Palmer's.
Heavy on the, hold on, check it out. Rudy Huxtable says, heavy on the, we don't know you, talking about her baby daddy, with almost 1,000 likes. Your guess is as good as mine, sis. Like, baby, that's Keke Palmer. Right, baby, you are an employee. Jasmine W. Right, never. I think he thought we co-signed his patriarchal belief that because he put a baby in her, he now has dominion over her body. And then she says, and we don't co-sign big gag. He tried to guilt trip her and it backfired. Like she looks amazing after having a baby and let's be proud of her body. Exactly like, sir, who are you? The man that she decided to have a child with. Did he not know that Keke can do no wrong? Are y'all ready to throw the whole thing away and start over? We got 1,600 plus. We going to 1,700. Get a like up for the YouTube hour. Y'all ready to throw the whole thing away? Are y'all ready to start over? No, you want to continue to embrace this? Oh, I get it. Yeah. We got to get everybody reparations. We got to fix the black community. We got to come together. We got to have conversations with these hoes and having a conversation about how black men and black women are supposed to come together, and we got to partner with them, right? I got you. Let me get to some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue to rock out. Shout out to Keke Palmer's biggest fan base and fan club out here. It's amazing. Yeah, I want to see some of y'all disagree with me on this one. Yeah, you can't disagree with me because I'm right. Shout out to Without Question says, everybody's getting held accountable. Oh, we all coming to the front of it's Friday. And on Friday, we all coming back to the front of the congregation. Shout out to Without Question. Mind Right hit us with a 10 ball and says, in every aspect, they skirt accountability, absolute debauchery at every level. The solution should be Machiavellian. We're not ready for that combo. Y'all not going to keep on hitting me with these big words trying to catch me up either. You know I'm a C student. Keep hitting me with debauchery and accountability and Machiavellian. I'm not going to stand for these big words too much longer, Mind Right. Thank you for the 10 ball. Y'all keep trying to get me caught up. Let's see if Anton can pronounce this word. No. I see the play. Y'all keep trying to get me caught up with these big words. Keep throwing debauchery and Machiavellian and accountability. Listen, anything with more than 3 to 4 syllables, me and y'all gonna have problems if I start pronouncing stuff word. You know I'm a C student. Keep on throwing all of these big words at me. Shout out to Mrs. Crotty Shetty in the building. Said, whoa. Like, whoa. Let me go and play some big Black Rob real quick. They trying to catch me up, trying to throw me off so they can make a meme of me out in these streets. You know what I'm saying, Mrs. Crotty Shetty? Rada is in the building. Says, a ninja with money is still a ninja with mentality still remains. Shout out to you. We're going to keep them syllable downs. 3 syllables. 4. I got 3 in a possible. We playing spades on this bitch, all right? Melvin Johnson is in the building. I'm going to start holding y'all accountable for throwing these big words out here. Melvin Johnson is in the building, says, these young folks just repeat the music and social media. Shaking my head. I like that chat. I like that super chat right there because that is simple to the point. I know I'm not going to trip up on my words, and I know y'all not going to be out here trying to make me look bad with all of these big words. You know what I'm saying? S. Chanel is in the building, says, Anton, after this, pull up the video of Chance the Rapper at Carnival getting grinded on and all of the women went in on him. Send me that video. We're going to talk about that on Monday. Send me that video, and we're going to talk about it on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. To all 44 TW says, Time Dog, this Jezebel the type to destroy years off your life in a split second. No, because you know what y'all going to do? Y'all going to wind up having kids with her because you think that she cute and because she got a social media profile. And she going to ruin your life. Shout out to y'all. Time Out is in the building, says, Anton, who gave you permission to talk on the internet? Is giving who hurt you energy. Ain't that what they're going to say to me? We know that that's what they're going to say to me. Who hurt him? Dr. Umar said it best. It's black men's fault. Shout out to Brock in the building. Brock with the 5 ball said, I'm done with this world. When is the next flight to Mars? I'm ready to move now. See that? 1 to 2 word syllables. We going through the super chats. We making sure we add value. We acknowledging the people. FB said, when she said Keke can do no wrong, it's like the college girl from last week who said, I'm a black woman. I am always right. I agree with you. I think it's giving that type of energy. Let me also acknowledge a couple more people. Lady Shan is in the building. Shout out to Lady Shan. Says, in the buildings. Ton Dog is in the building. Lady Shan is in the buildings. So on top of my game, I'm coming in through the ceiling. Woo! You ain't know I had them bars, did you? I got them bars. Hey. We got a Fantasy Island Girl is in the building, a Fight Club alum now. Shout out to Fantasy Island Girl. Fantasy Island Girl hit us with the 5 ball and said, you should play the Love is Like Whoa instead of... You should play the Love is Like Whoa instead, LOL. Mr. Anton Dolphin. Let me pull out my shirt. Let me tell y'all something. Hold on, Fantasy Island Girl. Let me tell you something. I don't want to stretch out my t-shirt because then I'm gonna be looking poor in this shit. But I have no chest hair. I'm smooth. I got the pool right outside, looking down on the pool. I go into the weight room this morning because I want to get my workout on. I want to get my sweat out. I want to get my glands posturating. You know what I'm saying? And this motherfucker is opening the door. He holding the door for me. And he got his whole man bun on his chest. He ain't got no shirt on coming out of the gym. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get some breakfast instead of going to the gym today. I don't want to touch one machine. This motherfucker was in here doing yoga and running up and down and picking up the weights with no shirt on, and he had a whole man bun on the front of his chest. And it wasn't curly. It was real Shabba Ranks, you know what I'm saying? It got ugly in that bitch. I'm telling you, I walked down. This is a business hotel, right? You see my steps. It goes all the way up to the top. See the steps? I got 2 floors inside of my hotel over here. 2 floors inside of my hotel over here. This is a business hotel. You see how sweet my luggage is. You see my backpack match my luggage. You see the type of water I drink. This ain't no Aquafina. This is a core hydration, perfectly balanced, pH purified water. And this motherfucker was walking out of the gym with no shirt on and a whole man bun on his chest. I said, I can't do it, Fantasy. I can't do it, Fantasy. Not today. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to get me some breakfast. And I'm going to have a good day. You know what I'm saying? No workout for me today. Shout out to Sean Love says, check the reactions from Uzi and JT. They had there is no hope. Send that to me. Y'all got to email it to me. AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. Alan Stranger is in the building. I appreciate you. Says they're going to have to keep the same energy when they have to explain themselves to God. Don't worry. I'll be bringing popcorn. You know what they're going to go to God? They're going to say, God, but we cast out devils and demons in your name. And he's going to say, depart from me. I never knew you. Shout out to the people in the chat. I appreciate y'all. I'll run up with y'all. I'll rock with y'all. We going to move on because we got a whole show, not a half a show, a whole hoe to talk about, not a half a hoe. But before we get to that, I want to share with y'all. I want to get to the money. I want to switch it up a little bit, right? Because, we all know that it all comes back to the money. But I want to have a conversation also about something that's going on in social media and its popularity. And it's about Threads. And I've recently downloaded Threads. And so for those of y'all that follow me on Instagram, follow me on Threads, I guess, too. See, I'm going to be an early adopter this time. Usually I wait. I wait like a year. All right. When Instagram first came out, I waited a long time. I waited like a couple years before I jumped on Instagram. When Twitter came out, I wasn't fucking with it. Right. The only platform that I ever really cared about was YouTube. Right. TikTok. I hate TikTok. Absolutely hate it. But my people and my team said, Anton, you got to have a TikTok profile if you want to continue to grow your channel and you want to continue to grow your visibility in front of the people. You need to have a TikTok. I swear to God, I'm thinking about killing my TikTok. Neither here nor there. But Threads. So Threads is literally an Instagram light, but I like its UI. It's very beautiful. But let me tell you, one of the things that make Threads so unique is that the reason why it's a competitor, because we've seen a lot of Twitter competitors, right? Actually, my favorite app right now is Twitter, outside of YouTube. But Threads is a very interesting app for those of y'all that haven't signed up for it. If you have an Instagram profile, it automatically ports you over. And Mark Zuckerberg recently launched this app called Threads, and it's basically Twitter, right? Except for you basically porting over all of the people that follow you on Instagram or that you follow on Instagram. And Facebook or Meta has a user base that allows for them to be able to leverage billions of people instead of the close to 250 million people that we see on Twitter. So the conversation is not necessarily whether or not you want to jump on Threads or not. The real conversation that we need to have is this Threads app going to add value into to what it is that they're doing over there on Meta? Should you invest in that company? And then is it actually a Twitter killer? Let me give you a general idea of what Threads is so y'all can know whether or not you want to sign up for it. This is the Threads app. Make sure that you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We got a lot to go through today. Let's get it, y'all.
Here's what Meta's new app, Threads, looks like. Some are calling it the Twitter killer because of the size of its existing user base. The feed and your profile have a very similar feel to Twitter, with options to like, quote reply, and repost other people's posts. And there's a 500-character limit for posts. It's meant to be more text-focused, rather than how Instagram is primarily for sharing photos. The app was created by Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. Currently, new users can sign up through their Instagram accounts and keep the same username and password. But beware, you can only delete your Threads account by deleting your Instagram account as well, since the two
You can only delete your Threads account by deleting your Instagram account as well, meaning that it's very much a slim chance that you ever delete your Threads account once you sign up for it, because very few people actually get off of Instagram. Even when they get off of Instagram, they may delete the app off of their phone for a couple days, but they come back to it. The Instagram profile is still active. Y'all out here ghost following. You want to see what people are talking about. And I actually like the app. It's really, really cool because what it allows you to do is see the thread that's attached to whatever it is that you're replying to. So I'll share it with y'all in a minute. Let's continue.
two are tied together. While there have been other Twitter competitors in the past, Instagram already has 2 billion active users, while Twitter, struggling under Elon Musk, has around 250 million, making Threads an immediate competitor. Within the first day, more than 30 million users had already signed up, according to
over 30 million people within the first day. That is unprecedented. Usually, historically, what has happened with applications is that they've rolled it out and the popularity of it makes it exclusive. So like, I'll give you an example. During the pandemic, Clubhouse blew up. One of the reasons why Clubhouse blew up is because it was so exclusive and you had to get invited over to the application to even be a part of the club. It was the same strategy that they utilized in order to launch Facebook. It was the same strategy that originally came with MySpace. And so with Facebook specifically, a lot of y'all wasn't familiar around that time. Before Facebook, before MySpace, you had Black Planet, you had Asian Avenue, you had MyGente. Yeah, I'm an OG when it comes to understanding social media applications, right? But the thing about it was that when you got into Facebook, you had to have an Ivy League address to even be able to get into the club. Then you had to have a college address. Then you just started to get invited by people that were already a part of the club, and then eventually they made it, open to everybody. But that's how they got the buzz going. The visibility is that when you show something to be exclusive, everybody wants to be a part of it, right? This is much different in that they leverage their user base, which actually shows you that things are much different than it was in yesteryear. They leverage their user base to get over 30 million people to sign up in the first day. I want to share with y'all a video from a financial perspective of how analysts are looking at this and why Facebook specifically is up over 144% this year. A lot of people were pinning a lot of what they thought was going to happen to Meta and Facebook based off of the metaverse, and that's still going to come, based off of what was going on with Oculus. But the unique thing about Mark Zuckerberg, and I would never ever bet against Mark Zuckerberg, is that even though you don't like that he's a nerd, even though you don't like that he do jiu-jitsu, even though you don't like the fact that he married, I believe, an Asian woman, you may not like Facebook, but he's going to give you something that ties you into the ecosystem that allows for him to be able to leverage advertisers to run up the check. And that's the true value of the company, is whether or not these tech companies can grow, not whether or not you like the application. If you don't like, listen, people that like Facebook adore Facebook. They're so addicted. People that are on Facebook are addicted to Facebook. They can't get off of it. And I find Facebook to be pretty useful myself in that if you are a part of a club, right? So let's just say you're a web developer and you want to get into a specific group, or if you don't necessarily like the messiness that go along with them grown-ass people on Facebook, you may use Facebook Marketplace in order to sell some furniture, or maybe you are a shoe aficionado and you prefer to go direct to consumer because you make more money going face-to-face instead of shipping your shoes out or selling them on StockX. Mark Zuckerberg understands, similar to how Apple does it, but completely different, right? Mark Zuckerberg understands offering you a product that eventually gets you into the ecosystem. That's why when y'all post on Instagram, right, or you put a reel up, you then select it and say, yeah, I want this to go over to Facebook too. You know why? Not necessarily because you like Facebook, but because you want more visibility for whatever it is that you're posting. You're trying to get more traction, right? Facebook is a great great opportunity for people to be able to zero down on if you're selling a product, or you opening up a restaurant, or you opening up a brick and mortar, or you trying to move in your city a little bit differently. They allow for you to be able to advertise within that radius, and they tie in that ecosystem, right? Facebook is connected to Instagram. Instagram is now connected to Threads. And so Mark Zuckerberg, as smart as he is, and people don't give him credit for this, they say he a nerd, he a lame. No, he's wise, he's smart. He understands ecosystems, and he understands how to tie in things, and he don't even have to reinvent the wheel. That's the beautiful thing about Mark Zuckerberg, and that's what I like about him. Tim Cook, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, they're innovators. Mark Zuckerberg, he uses leverage. There's a different type of management style, a different type of CEO for every single platform. And leverage is both leveraging the user base that you already have, the 2 billion Instagram users. But you know what leverage also is? Is being able to use your platform to source out different features and functionality to crush your competitors. Want me to give you an example? Snapchat. A lot of the features from Snapchat, when they couldn't buy Snapchat, automatically got imported over into Instagram. TikTok. You've seen stories, you see reels all of a sudden. All of that technology came from other people and other platforms that were doing it more successfully than them, or out-innovated them. And all they did was take their user base, and they leveraged their user base in order to create another platform and create another UI that you liked. They're leveraging Twitter. This is not new what they're doing, but then they're leveraging their user base, and you can't not do it because so much of what we're tied to is now based off of what it is that we do on social media. Your visibility, your ability to be able to market yourself, get products out there. If you want to be known, if you're a content creator, you have to participate on these platforms. So I seen some of y'all in the chat, right? And some of y'all in the chat said, nah, I'm not jumping on Threads. You a lie. All you going to do is prolong the inevitable. I'm not jumping on Threads. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're coming over to the front of the congregation, and so sitting there playing games instead of embracing the technology, because people that don't innovate and people that don't think that the technology is going to affect them, eventually they fall behind. You're going to have to embrace it too, especially if you're some form of a content creator.
Shares of Meta hitting a 52-week high earlier today after the company launched its new Twitter competitor Threads. Josh, you own Meta. What's your take?
I'm not currently long Meta, but I'm just blown away at how quickly they got adoption for this thing. And
let me also, again, full disclosure, I am an investor in Meta, right? So even though I'm giving you my objective view of how it is that he's leveraging his platforms, I want you to understand that I've long been long. And as a matter of fact, I've been continuously pouring money into my possession and my position in Meta for the last 2 years. And I've been saying this for a long time. This is not a secret. And they've made me a ton of money. I mean, an egregious amount of money. Meta has made me a ton of money.
And it started last night. I was one of the first, I think, 300,000 accounts on there. And from what I hear, they're already through 30 or 40 million users. When you consider that the user base is 2 billion, I guess it's not that surprising. But the speed here is just absolutely breathtaking. I think that's a function of two things. The first is people are looking to have that old Twitter experience back from 2016, 17, 18, 19. They're not going to get it on existing Twitter. And so that's why you're seeing that play out with the speed with which this user base is growing. But the other startling thing, though, is that Facebook could have done this any time. Like, they could have done this really 10 years ago. It was ingenious to build this based on the Instagram social graph and just let people who are already there have a different app, but bring over their friends, not have to start from zero with a new identity. I can't believe they could have done this all along, and they haven't. Maybe the opportunity was created by all of the chaos on the existing Bird app, the Hell site that is now. And it feels like I started on Twitter in March of 2009. It feels like 2009. Like, everyone's excited. My phone is set on alerts. It's buzzing every second. thousands of followers overnight. It's like, it's really cool to see everybody back together again. Nobody's blocked. Nobody's haters are on there. The pseudonyms haven't shown up yet. The crypto scam. So it's like it's a new era.
Let me tell you one of the reasons why I am skeptical about it. And I'm not leaving Twitter. I'm very, very careful about the idea that, and I don't need to have him on my screen anymore. I'm very, very careful. I'm about to read Super Chat shortly. I'm very careful about having too much social media because I think that you have to do everything uniquely to that platform. So the same things that you see on YouTube is not the same things that I place on Instagram. It's not the same things that I talk about on Twitter. So that's A. B, I'm very, very leery about censorship, right? One of the reasons why I hate TikTok is that, number one, I can do the same thing on Instagram that I do on TikTok. But then number two, the censorship on TikTok is amazing. I don't even be having no cuss words on my reels, and they just be dropped. They just be censorship. And so that's another thing. And then B, I think that one of the things that makes Threads pretty awesome is that it's not as difficult for you to have to scale up from scratch. And when people have to build up a following and they have to build up some kind of interaction with people from scratch, I think it makes it a lot more difficult for other people to then rock out with them. So I do like Threads. I think that they're going to thrive. I think that they're going to be phenomenal. One of the things that I'm going to be paying attention to is how it affects Twitter, because I know Elon Musk always wants to compete. But one of the things that Elon Musk had got into it with Mark Zuckerberg, and he actually threatened to sue Mark Zuckerberg as a result of releasing Threads and basically stealing the whole vibe of what Twitter is doing, even to the point to where they talked about fighting and getting into a cage match with each other. But I'm going to keep an eye on everything. I did want to bring y'all into that conversation to help y'all understand how it is that I seen Threads. Let me read a couple super chats, and then I want to get into Jalen Rose getting fired over in ESPN and him posting cryptic messages as a result of that. All right. Shout out to Lady Shan. Says, Ty, you ready for the boxing show? Work time. I am, Lady Shan. I am absolutely ready for the boxing show. Thank you, my love. Christopher J is in the building. Says, good morning, people. Salute to the chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Says, salute to the chasers. Anton, what we getting an update on the NYC location. I'm finna book my flight in a minute. Book your flight to NYC. We having a meetup on that day. I'm just making sure that I'm talking to the different venues and the locations so that it can accommodate wherever it is that we rock out. So we will be within the city. We will be within Manhattan city limits. We are gonna be in that area. So go ahead and book y'all flight if you decided that you was coming to the NYC meetup via the Bag Chasers. If y'all want to know and y'all want to come and kick it with me in person, make sure you tap into the Patreon. There is no cost for you to come and meet me and kick it with me. I go to y'all cities. I fly everywhere, every month or every couple of months, depending on what my schedule is. And I'm going to be in NYC next weekend. Y'all will be getting an update, hopefully today or tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it on a plane. I'll do the update on the plane. Shout out to Anwar. Anwar is in the building. My dog says, I appreciate the call we had yesterday. Shout out to Anton. He's the only one that keeps it real and told me my goals are way too small. I didn't know you was going to say all of that. So Anwar had hit me up, and I said, hey, bro, hit me up. Y'all know I was actually on a live stream yesterday, and he had texted me. I sent him my phone number. And he said, yo, Ton, I need to tap in with you. I said, all right, well, call me at around 10 o'clock. Because by that time, my plane should have landed yesterday. And then we're going to have a conversation, right? And so he called me. I was still on the plane as far as we hadn't, docked yet. But as soon as I got off the plane and I'm walking over to the rental car agency, I'm talking to him. And we having these conversations. And obviously, I'm never going to talk about the details of our conversations because I never talk about what I talk about with people on the phone. But we having a conversation, and so, he's asking me some questions or whatever. And then eventually I was like, because this is the first time I ever talked to him. Eventually I said, listen, bro, you're doing this all wrong. I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. Like, whether we in person or whether we on the phone or whether we on a coaching call or whatever, I just keep it real. I said, listen, bro, your goals is a piece of shit. Your goals are shit to me. Do A, B, and C, This is how you're supposed to play it long term. This is how I would do it. This is how I would rock out with it. And I know it was the first time that we ever talked on the phone, but I felt like since we had been talking for like 15, 20 minutes, it was time for me to be absolutely honest and tell you the truth. I said, bro, your goals are shit to me. I'm not feeling it. I don't like your plan. It ain't moving. It ain't rocking. We running in the Victim Olympics. It's time to make some adjustments. Do A, B, and C. Let's keep it 100. I'm telling you this because I want the best for you. This is the reality. He was like, I almost felt like he was like, in the phone. But then when he snapped out of it, he was like, damn, you're right. He was just like, damn, you're right. He just told it. He was just real. So I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. I'm not going to tell y'all the thing that y'all want to hear. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. And I'm going to be 100 with y'all 100% of the time, all right? Shout out to you, fam. I appreciate you. Bitcoin Brown is in the building. I appreciate you, Bitcoin Brown. Says, what up, Chasers? That was wild. What's wild is that I read Elon is suing Mark Zuckerberg and the employees he let go, saying that he took some of their knowledge to launch Threads. Shh. I'm covering that. I'm going to cover that eventually. I'm not going to cover it right now. I got to make sure I get all of the details first. Shout out to Man right in the building. Says, fireball for my fellow C students. Shout out to Man right. I appreciate you. Cliff Williams, my dog, is in the building live from Canada. Says, Anton, I need a battle cry. I'm going out of town on a mission to build 2 buildings in Calgary. I'm making moves to get to and above that $250,000. The challenge still exists, especially for my bag chasers and the Patreon members. The challenge still exists. $250,000 a year or nothing. We want all or nothing. I expect for every last one of y'all to get 250 ball. And then I'm going to teach y'all how to manage it a little bit differently. Kicks and Bites says, when will the conspiracy start about the logo? 666. It's a Threads logo. And yeah, I heard about that too. You know, it's always going to be a conspiracy theory. Omar is in the building, says, Anton, can you review the CNBC video of the 40-year-old woman living in a house the size of a parking spot? I sent it to you on July 2nd. Are you talking about this video right here? We gonna get there, Omar. We're going to get there. That is a part of the show today. Let me cook. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Shout out to you. I felt like that was a very good article to go over. Patty Jackson is in the building. Says, yo, Anton, can you cover the Chicago Police Department officers getting migrants pregnant? When? When that happened? Email me that article, AntonDaniels413@gmail.com, and I'm going to check that out. I got to know about that. I got to know about that. I gotta hear about these dudes that's busting down the migrants. No Inglés, no hablo Inglés. But I want some dome. Here, just put your head on my pillow. Yeah, yeah. And just... He said, put your head on my pillow. He gonna make her a pillow pet. They making migrants pillow pets. Put your head on my pillow. Oh my God. Tell me y'all not busting down these people that don't even speak no hablo Inglés. Jesus. Send me that article and we're gonna have that conversation. Make sure y'all get a like up for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Before we get to that though, Jalen Rose went live. I haven't seen this. A lot of people saying that he was running in the Victim Olympics and he was blaming it on racism about getting fired. Jalen Rose is a former Detroiter. I actually ran into him when me and Charleston White was at the last Pistons game. I want to see this video and I wanted to review it along with y'all before I went over into the woman that's over in that's living in that house. But make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We're going to review this video and we're going to get into it, y'all. Let me speed this up real quick.
Tarantino. Ask Nino. He know.
Oh, no, don't come like rap.
Green with envy. Anyway, the last one got cut off. That Notorious was hitting too hard. So
I could tell that Jalen Rose don't go live that often because you're not supposed to play music on a live on Instagram. They will cut that junk off immediately. All right?
Listening to that record actually is what made me want to go live. And like I said before, Wishing you a blessed and glorious day. A couple of things. If you ever want to work in this industry, the thing you're going to learn real quick is people are too simple to even attack what you say. Because they're so vicious, they're going to attack you. Certain features about you, certain characteristics about you, certain personal things about you. And also in working in multimedia, it's like being an official if you good. Which means when the ref blow the whistle, whichever team get the call is happy. Whoever the call goes against, the team is upset.
Yo. Hold on. First and foremost, I'm going to need these niggas. Listen, I rock with Jalen Bros. I think that he's awesome. I think that he's a phenomenal commentator when it comes to the NBA. But I'm going to just be honest. I got a small amount of patience for niggas that's talking in metaphors. Right? Metaphors, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Don't talk to me in no fucking simile. Don't give me no metaphor. Don't give me no... Or preface it, like say, yo, I'm about to bring that back in and I'm going to relate it back to y'all so that y'all can fucking understand what it is that I'm talking about. You start talking about playing for the other team. I think you talking about having sex with a man. You know what I'm saying? That you batting for the other team. That's usually what that means. Y'all are going to have to break it down from a C student's perspective. This is not Kendrick Lamar's album. I am not trying to understand it. I'm not going on Rap Genius. You niggas is going to have to tell me what you mean when you say it. Do you like the fact that you got fired? Is it politics involved? The whole nine. Listen, Joe Dumars. Shout out to Joe Dumars, Isaiah Thomas, his teammate. I ran into Joe Dumars in the Delta Club yesterday, right? And he was cool. He had on his Prada glasses. He was chilling. He was slow motion. I said, Joe, let me ask you a question. He said, what's going on? He said, what's happening, fam? I said, yo, what do you think about the ESPN firings? Joe Dumars said, yo, I think that is part business and the rest of it is some political bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just kept it 100. We had a whole conversation. I understood exactly what he meant, what he was saying. He was eating some bagels or some shit like that. It was just straight up. You're going to have to get to the point and tell. This is why I be speeding you niggas up sometimes, man. Let me put this shit on 1.5 now.
Might even get a technical arguing the call. So you could dislike what I say or agree with me or disagree with me. It's fine. All good. But note to everybody out there, if you want to do this, people ain't going to just attack what you say. They attack you. And also, being where I'm from, more than a jock that doesn't just shut up and dribble, that's a philanthropist that gives back to his community.
Oh, no, Jalen. Don't start running in the Victim Olympics now, buddy. Don't start running. Now he going back to the, I just don't shut up and dribble. I give back to my community. He does. He got the Jalen Rose Academy. It is a great school. He gives back to his community. He's a good person. I actually rock with him in Detroit. But let me tell you something, bro. Business is business. And when it comes to whether or not you're going to get that bag, they don't give a fuck about how philanthropic you are. They are going to pick the person that they feel like they can get at the best price, that can deliver the best product possible. This is capitalism, my friend. When you get let go, even though I would prefer for it to be Malika Andrews, shout out to Malika. When you get let go, that shit ain't got nothing to do with whether or not you get back to your community, not to shut up and dribble. We don't want to hear that shit. All right? And I rock with Jalen Rose, but I'm going to be objective right here.
I'm sicker than your average. I'm more of a threat. So there will be certain people with certain political beliefs that just don't like me because I think I'm woke. And that term has clearly been hijacked. And so, again, I didn't get a chance to elaborate on the point, and maybe I didn't stick the landing. Maybe it was an irrelevant point that I was trying to make about the Heat in Miami when they were playing the Knicks. And I referenced the fact that when you're in Miami, you got to be conscious of the sun because it creates dehydration and tiredness. If you've ever been in New York City, especially this time of year, or in Miami this time of year, it's a different lifestyle. When you're in Miami and you're not in the gym, you're laying by the pool. You're walking on the beach. You're not in your hotel room. You're outside enjoying the weather and enjoying the sun.
You mean like how I'm in my hotel room right now in Miami? Let me give y'all another misconception, right? Most people that live in Miami don't go to the beach. Most people that's actually residences and people that live in Miami do not go to the beach. They not out here in the streets. They not laying by the pool. They out here working 3 and 4 fucking jobs. As a matter of fact, I realize that the people in Miami work much harder than the people that live in a lot of these Midwestern cities. It's a hustler's culture. It's a hustler's culture. Maybe he's just talking about NBA players alone, but I'm missing it right now. I'm trying to reel it in. Reel it in. Let's bring it in, Jalen. Let me hear what you got to say, big dog.
It can dehydrate you. That's what I was referencing. And again, maybe it's an irrelevant point to most people. Maybe it's a wrong point overall. But I know that the Heat don't play outside. I actually played in the arena. But I do know this. When the Nuggets, who drafted me, have a game, the altitude matters. Not as much for the home team because they live there. It's an adjustment for the road team. I'll never forget, we was playing against the Rockets one time. I think this was my first or second year. And Hakeem Olajuwon, who I believe, along with Michael Jordan, are the only 2 people I've ever been on the court with, and Kobe. Those 3. That I felt like
I'm gonna let Jalen get his energy off. I'm gonna try to reel this in and break it down from a C student's perspective for y'all. Give me a second. Bear with us. Bear with me and Jalen right now.
we're the best player on both ends at all times. That can play above the rim, around the rim in the paint, but also just attack you with all of their moves and their skills. I remember looking over at the bench and I seen Hakeem with a gas mask on. I was like, wow. I didn't realize the dream got tired because I viewed him as super.
Yo, BP, this is not a conversation that has any, nobody's saying that he's not fine. Nobody's saying that he's not doing well. I don't think that that's the conversation that we having. We trying to understand what he feels about the firing over at ESPN, because he's having a lot of cryptic conversations and messages about people's reactions to it and things like that. And I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding it.
For human. So when you get a chance, just Google it. The effects that the sun can have on the body. There isn't a...
Okay, so you gave some unique takes about your thoughts on the Miami Heat and, you know, the Denver Nuggets. Cool. Is he saying, and I'm just asking a question, is he saying that his takes were unpopular yet they were true, which is one of the things that led to his demise over at the network and over at ESPN?
Adjustment there. There's a consciousness there that has to take place. That's why you get a tan, for example. But either way, it could be an irrelevant point. I ain't mad at it. I'm going to say a lot of wrong things. I'm going to mispronounce names. I'm going to get predictions wrong. But you know what the devil do? They don't attack what you said. They attack you.
I hate to do this, y'all. I genuinely hate to do this because now I see where this is going. I see the relevance. I see where the metaphors and the similes and, you know, where the music come in and all of that other type of stuff. I see what's happening here. Let me tell you what's happening. Jalen is hurt, and I understand it, because when you lose your job or you lose a position or you get let go or whatever like that, you start trying to figure out who's against you, or you know, you start putting the blame and looking at other people when you're saying, hey, it's because I'm black, or hey, because I'm, you know, whatever, so on and so forth. And they're not attacking a point, they're attacking me. Now they're going through and they have this, you know what I'm saying, this comb, and they combing through all of the things that I did wrong because they coming at me. And they're not actually coming at what it was that I was saying. Was I right or was I wrong? Are you guys saying that I was wrong because of the takes that I was giving, right? That my predictions was wrong? Or are you attacking me personally? And as a person that's been on TV like him, that's been on TV as long as he has, It's both. TV is entertainment. You are on there not just to give your thoughts, but to also be entertaining. And so people pay attention to all of it. It's the reason why we have social media now, is so that the people can connect even outside of what you see presented on TV with the people that actually support them. You can't separate the two. And this is one of the reasons why I was saying this to y'all in the beginning of this live stream, is that y'all don't understand that the more visibility that you have, the more that people are going to extract things from you, not just from what it is that you're saying or this show, right? I could sit here and I could do this show, right? One of the reasons why my Instagram is fucking popping is because people want to know what my thoughts are after I tap out of the show, right? When I share my life, it's all encompassing, right? What I do with my time, if I come on here and I say, hey, y'all, it's wrong for you to have sex out of wedlock, right? And then I become a single man. And then in my own personal time, you're not debating my point, but then you're looking at how it is that I live my life in order to substantiate whether or not I'm a reflection of the things that I'm saying online. That's fair game, because that's a part of the game now. It's not enough to just give a thought. It's not enough to just give a take. It's not enough to just say what you say and then it'd be right or wrong based off of our moral compass. You are the brand. So I don't really understand what he's complaining about. You are the brand. Shout out to Patty Jackson.
And there are certain sites that I have ignored, and I'm going to continue to ignore, that just don't like me because I don't shut up and dribble. Oh. And make a living off posting stuff about me to try to assassinate my character.
I hate this, y'all. I hate this. And I hate it especially because he's Jalen Rose. And I haven't seen this before he started posting it. I hate it because they're not making a living off of assassinating your character. You're a public figure, and so they're reacting to and having conversations based off of who you are and how it is that you live your life, because this is the profession that you chose. You're an entertainer. If I go outside and my shirt is untucked and I got tissue sticking out the back of my pants and they take a picture of it, I'm going to laugh that shit off. They may even make a bunch of money reacting to it and saying, oh man, Anton still got tissue sticking out the back of his pants. That's just come with the game. Laugh that shit off, embrace it, and have a good time as a result of it. At some point, everybody get laughed at. Everybody get talked about. Somebody don't agree with you. I even embrace it. As long as you're not overly disrespectful in my chat, I'd be like, listen, there be people that disagree with me and saying, Anton, you stupid, that's a bad take. I'm not tripping off of that. It come with the game. That's just a part of the game. That's what you signed up for, bro. It wasn't a problem. You never seen Jalen Rose going live until after he got fired. You never seen him on these conversations and saying this shit until he got fired. Now everybody is running in the Victim Olympics. Come on, man. Come on, man. You got to put your big boy pants on, Jalen. For real, seriously. I know you seeing this. I know somebody sent it to you. They said Anton is reacting to you because I'm a big dog in these streets. Yes, I motherfucking am. And I know all of y'all celebrities be watching it and you waiting your turn because you don't want to get brought to the front of the congregation. And I'm going to react to just what y'all put up there. I don't have no say-so about what it is that y'all do in your personal life. I don't give a fuck about who you talking to and any of that type of stuff. I'm going to react to the things that y'all putting out here on social media. And nobody is trying to assassinate anybody else's character. This is entertainment. It's just a part of the game, man. You can't complain about the game.
But I'm going to stay in my faith. I'm going to continue to be disciplined. I'm going to continue to work hard.
If you're usually not bothered about it, you don't post that you're not bothered about it and that you're going to continue to stay focused. You just be doing that shit. You just be living. You don't see Denzel Washington coming on the social media and saying, I'm so sick of it. I'm going to stay focused because I hear what y'all talking about, but I'm not paying attention to it. He just be doing his shit. He just do whatever it is that he do. He don't be paying attention to it. He don't see it.
But it's crazy sometimes when people try to use words to describe you like stupid or dumb.
So, what do you care?
I know I'm not a lot of things, but I for sure know I ain't stupid or dumb.
What do you care? Why do you care what other people think that don't understand where it is that you come from? You're going to have people that hate you and the people that love you. You want both of them because both of them promote you, and both. The more they talk about you, the more visible you come. You embrace the hate with the love. It's the Mayweather effect.
And
hey, y'all niggas need to put y'all phones down. Real talk. These niggas need to get off of social media and stop live streaming, stop going live to get their thoughts off and all this other type of shit. Because all they're going to do, if they bothered by that, then they're going to be even more bothered by how people react to them. And again, I love Jalen Rose, but this is sad. This is sad right here.
One of the things I wanted to do with my life, I wanted to purposely accomplish things.
And then somebody said, Oblivious Ambition said, let the man grieve. Only God knows what he's planning to do with his money. Now you got to find another route. No, we all know because he's having a conversation with the general public. Nobody, nobody's reacting to the thing that he did not go public about. See, y'all can't do that shit. You can't say, let the man breathe, let the man grieve. Only God know what he's going through. No, we know what he's going through because he's sharing it with the general public. That's what I keep telling y'all. Listen, when you get mad at your man, don't start getting on there and start typing on threads real hard. Put the fucking phone down. Breathe, sleep that shit off. You're going to like them in the morning, but we not going to know your business. When you go live on social media, now we want to know what the fuck is going on because it's tied to something that directly is going on in social media. Don't say, let them grieve. Get the fuck off the phone then. Nobody asked you to put your business out here to the general public.
That mainstream and corporate America say people like me where I'm from can't accomplish. So they couldn't say that about me. So that's why I was an honor roll student in high school. That's why I made the dean's list in college. That's why I graduated from college. I wanted to be a best-selling author, a donor, a philanthropist, a school founder. So now if you close your eyes, I could be a 55, 60-year-old person, black or white, and have the same accomplishments that allow me to get into the room and allow my resume to be just as valid. So again, maybe an irrelevant point may have been taken out of context. Maybe I could have articulated it better. All good. If it was irrelevant, then my bad, I own it. If it has some merit, I own it. But either way, again, and I want to stress, people are going to always try to assassinate your character and talk you out of your greatness. Try to make you feel small, try to disrespect you. Stay disciplined, stay focused, stay encouraged. You got to believe something.
Okay, all right. This is getting bad. Shout out to Jalen Rose. Hopefully I do not run into him at a Pistons game again. And then he'd be like, yo, Anton, what the fuck was that? Because I don't, he don't know me. I don't know him. I just keep it moving when I see these guys. If they notice me or something like that, I'll give them, hey, man, I like what you did, said on ESPN. Oh, okay, thank you. And that's the end of the conversation, right? I'm in passing. I'm a fan. I love what Jalen Rose does. I was watching a lot of his stuff. I think he's a great commentator. Nobody's trying to assassinate his character. We just reacting to what you put on social media, and you got to own that shit. So if you don't want people to talk about it, then get off the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Put the phone down and don't talk about that shit, and ain't nobody going to have no conversations about it. But y'all can't be running in the Victim Olympics and then blaming the people for reacting to what you saying. Put the fucking phone down. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tay-Biz TV in the building. Says, I don't understand why people make posts or videos with indirect or cryptic speech. If it's deeper than rap, then leave it in the streets and don't say anything. At this point, it's only for attention. As we proceed to give you what you need. Shout out to Tay-Biz TV. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for holding me down. Patty Jackson is in the building. They said, just sent you that email, big dog. Oh, we're going to have a hell of a show on Monday. It's going to be interesting. Julius Jermaine is in the building with the fireball and says that Rivian stock, I'm long on Rivian. Julius Jermaine, I'm long on Rivian. I've long said that I was long on Rivian. I've been an investor in Rivian since the beginning, since not their IPO, but a little bit later after that, once it dropped a little bit, then I bought into Rivian. Says, thanks a lot, big dog. I don't tell y'all what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I just give y'all insight on what it is that I do and why I do it, and hopefully y'all make a lot of money as a result of it also. But every decision that you make, you have to make a long-term decision. And I talk more about it inside of the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. My favorite part of the show, and this is the final part of the show, is reacting to other people sharing their business and their information online of how they manage their money, where they live at, and why they do what they do, so that we can compare and contrast and make an informed decision as whether or not we would do it ourselves. All right. So in addition to hitting a like for the YouTube algorithm, I would suggest you guys go and get your Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. I'm going to be linking up with y'all in New York, and then the next city right after that, I'm probably going to come to DC, right? Make sure that you guys continue to hold each other down, and then share this with your family and friends. Let's go ahead and get into this. This is, I think her name is Sung Woo. Let me double check to make sure I got her name right. I don't want her out here in these streets looking stupid. This is an Asian woman that's living in Santa Monica and is spending $1,600 a month for a place that is less than 200 square feet. I want to know what y'all doing. Let's hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
Living in a tiny home has really helped me be more present. There's no room for excess or unnecessary.
That bed was small, man. Did y'all see that little box that she was sleeping in? Hold on, let me rewind that. Look at that. It's giving claustrophobic. It's giving prison. It's giving, how did you get that bed into that space in the first place without scratching the walls, man? I have not seen this video. Somebody, as y'all already know, sent this to me. I'm not sleeping in that. I'm not sleeping in that. No way, no how. Nope. But I'm going to play the video a little bit. We're going to break it down. Y'all wanted me to be triggered on this, huh?
There's no room for excess or unnecessary objects. Everything is very curated, very intentional. My name is Sung Yu. I'm 40 years
Her name is Sung Yu.
Old, and
she's 40 years old. She's kind of cute too.
I live in a tiny house in Santa.
Oh no! You see how big that house is? That's where the house is, y'all. Look. Before we get into this, let me tell you this. Let me tell you what's about to happen in society. I've recently, and I haven't even shared this with the bag chasers yet, but I'm gonna tell y'all why. I've recently bought a pretty decent size piece of land. I've been buying up plots and land, and I'm learning and going through the process of understanding how to build out a lot of this stuff and establishing the relationships, because I don't know what I don't know. So I'm building my first home now, my first rental property. I'm building it from the ground up. A lot of y'all are familiar with it. I give y'all an update occasionally on not on Facebook, on Instagram, on my stories and stuff like that. But I've been slowly but surely acquiring land. And then recently I've bought like a pretty decent sized piece of land. And one of the reasons that I think that this is going to happen, I shouldn't even be sharing this with y'all. Well, I'm not going to go into details, but I think that most people, the traditional single family home is going away. It's completely going away. The traditional single family home and neighborhoods as we know it is completely going away. So I am moving towards a completely different strategy that hasn't been implemented by individual investors at scale. And so everybody has got the same real estate strategy, but I got something completely different coming for the Patreon members that I'm working on. So this is a long-term project that I'm implementing and something that I'm getting into, and y'all gonna be excited because I think that y'all gonna want to be a part of that. Make sure you join the Patreon. Link is in the description. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get on the Discord this weekend, either tonight or tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna start talking about it on the Discord before I even talk about it and break it down in the video, because I got another video that I'm dropping this weekend about it. But I have something that I'm doing at scale that I think that y'all could possibly implement too, because the way in which we live, work, and play, even in the Midwest and some of these places with a lot of spaces, is going to change dramatically forever. And it's different reasons why that's happening, including property taxes and all of that other type stuff. But yeah, man, this is, when I see stuff like that, like this right here, it confirms what I'm going to be teaching y'all in the Patreon coming up next. So again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. As Riel says, single family homes aren't going anywhere. Okay. When you watch the video that I drop in the Patreon, I want you to have that same sentiment, keep that same energy, Azriel. See, my people love disagreeing with me. We have debates, fight. We part of a network. We gon' figure it out. But I have a theory that I'm going to be investing in, and I think it's going to be completely different from what you think. But let me continue to play this video.
Monica, California, and I pay $1,600 per month. Welcome to my tiny house in Santa Monica, California. I'm a designer and entrepreneur, and I have a children's toy brand called Big Little Universe.
So she makes over $170,000 a year, but she lives in a tiny home in Santa Monica. She makes over 170 bands a year. This is what she's saying. And she lives in a tiny home in a bed that's placed in a space that's claustrophobic.
Before living in the tiny house, I lived in New York City for over 18 years. I was paying $4,500 a month for an apartment. So I initially...
She was in New York City. She was paying $4,500 a month for an apartment. She was paying Now, keep in mind, she's going in two of the most expensive states in the entire United States. She went from New York over to California. But her lifestyle changed, and so her budget changed. And so it's not that she found something cheaper, it's that she's having a completely different culture in which she's immersed in. Let's continue.
Moved to California with a partner. That relationship did not work out. And so after that time, I had two places.
She moved to California for a man's.
One in New York and one in California. It was pretty quickly where I decided it was time to get grounded again with my own values. So
she cute as hell, but she a flatback. Hey, fellas, before we get into this video, let me ask y'all a question. Can y'all rock with flatbacks? Is it more important for her to have body, yaddy, yaddy, or is it just the face? Because it's a lot of girls with good face, but as long as she keep her, her weight down or whatever, a lot of guys can rock with flatbacks. But it's a lot of guys that can't rock with flatbacks. Let me know what y'all think in the chat.
So I made the tiny house my primary residence.
All this music.
I was actually in Rome and I found this space on Hot Pads and thought it was a scam. I hadn't seen anything like it. The photos were posted. It was also very hard to decipher. They had a phone number on there, so I actually ended up calling it, and someone did pick up. And the interview process was also extremely intense. It was more intense than a regular apartment building. I asked for a...
Look how small that place is, yo. And they vetting people, which means that they have a long line of people that want to be a part of what it is that they rent, and they throw that tiny home in their backyard, and now she paying a little less than $20,000 a year for this place.
Video interview to be able to see the space. But even then, I was like, it could not be there. This could all be AI for all I know. So I had someone come and check that the space actually existed. Living in Santa Monica has a lot of benefits. I love being close to the ocean. Being able to go on hikes and have access to the outdoors has been really amazing.
So a lot of times, well, let me read it. A studio apartment, which is basically the same thing as a fucking tiny home, in Santa Monica is renting a studio. That means you just get a box. Usually your kitchen is inside of your bedroom. Your bathroom is right there next to it, or you may have a communal space for a bathroom. But a studio apartment, no bedrooms, no extras. Laundry is very difficult to come by, and all of that is going for $2,200 a month in Santa Monica. And people are signing up for it. And you know why? Because they're learning to live with less. They're figuring out that they can become minimalist, and they're more concerned with being around the area that they want to be in more than they're concerned with the space. It's the trade-off. The question that y'all need to be asking yourself is, could you do it? Don't say what you would want to do. Ask me, could you do it?
Living in a tiny house has not only provided my own space, but I'm easily saving a few $1,000s a month, which has been extremely beneficial as well.
The reason why she says she saves over $2,000 a month from living in a tiny house is because the only way you can justify that is if you start looking at it from a comparison perspective. If you start looking at, so you will start saying, well, this is what I was paying in New York. Or if I lived in this area and I had a regular house, then I would be paying X amount. So that's how you justify it in your mind, right? It's kind of like a gambler's mentality, but it's not. And the way that a gambler a lot of times think is, let's say you go to the casino and you lose $1,000, right? Then you start justifying it in your mind and you're saying, well, I would have just spent $1,000 on shopping anyway, so I'm straight. And that's how you start to justify why you're doing what you're doing when you're doing it. But the reality is that it's all comparative, right? It's all relative. It's based off of what your lifestyle is. It's based off of what you're used to, what you normally would do. And then you take all of that data internally, and then you start to justify as to why it is that you're paying that amount and why you live in a 200 square foot studio tiny house.
There's only been a couple small aspects that I've added to the house, which are small accessories and wall-mounted hooks. Otherwise, it's pretty much exactly how...
That is a box with no basement that you can literally throw. You get a permit, you can throw that shit up in less than a month, probably for less than 20 bands. You can build that for less than $20,000 as long as you got the land to be able to do it. It's a box. Ain't even no drywall in there. It's literally just a box.
How it came.
Look at that box. Box. That's it. In between garages. With a fence up.
The style is very minimal and designed to be energy efficient as well as sustainably built. The house does not require any heat or AC, so I don't have any heating or cooling, but the temperature...
You can do that shit for less than... It don't have no AC. It's no heating. It's no cooling. It's just a bunch of fucking outlets in that bitch. It's in between two garages with a fence on it. No heating and cooling, and then it's the same thing that people do on their jobs. You'd be like, oh yeah, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a sanitation engineer. No, you're a janitor. I'm a sanitation engineer. No, listen. Ain't nothing wrong with being a janitor. I come in, I clean the toilets, I take out the trash. It's no such thing. And so they use these terms and they say, well, it's very minimalist and it's eco-friendly. That's what they do. It's minimalist. It's eco-friendly. It uses a lot of natural light. When I see that type of shit on Airbnb, I just be like, skip. Talk to me about no minimalistic, eco-friendly, natural light shit. I don't want to know about that shit. Give me something that I'm used to. I want that big bed because I lay down that big pipe. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Temperature is regulated by concrete panels, which is water resistant, weatherproof, and extremely durable. I do use a small portable heater in the winter if it is colder weather. I think the most difficult part about moving into a tiny house, there's very limited storage. So having very intentional objects that you've selected that are functional as well as high quality has been a really amazing cure.
Functional, high quality, minimalistic, basic, eco-friendly, natural light. These are all terms for poor, in my opinion. It's all terms for I want to be in the area, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. So I'm going to make the sacrifice and I'm going to bring in this fucking space heater because I don't have any kind of real air circulating through this. They threw up a box. They got a permit and that's the fucking truth. It just is what it is, yo.
Curation process. You know, narrowing down like technology was pretty simple. I felt like going through different objects or tools was also pretty simple because you come to realize you really don't need that many things. There is literally a container that I have under my sink that I spent at least a couple months looking for because I needed something to be a specific size and material. I think patience is going to be one thing that could be tested living in a tiny house. I think that the main misconception of living in a small space is that it's not possible, but I think it's one of the most amazing gifts and experiences that I've had.
Yo, when the lemons is right next to the plastic bags, might be time to go to a different state, yo. When the lemons are the same size as the plastic bags, or I'm sorry, right next to the plastic bags and the utensils, and you moving the lemons out of the way in order to get a pen, it's time to make some adjustments, man. For me, that's just for me personally. I know a lot of y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. For me, if the lemons is next to the pens and the pencils, if I got to move this out of the way in order to get to this, then we got a problem, yo, for real.
When you walk in, this is the main area, which is my work area as well as living room. You see my open closet.
It's not a closet. Those are racks, ma'am. I got those same things in my studio for when I need to switch out hookups when I'm ready to record a new episode because I'm trying to get ahead. That is not a... We're very sustainable, so we repurposed the pipes that they removed from the house that's lead, and we turned them into racks for our clothes. We recycle, and we're trying to be eco-friendly.
I guess you could also say it's a walk-in closet. I spend majority of my day sitting right in this space with my laptop, and this is where majority of my work is done. I'm pretty particular about how I curate my wardrobe because I have so little space. Everything has a versatility or a...
Hey, look at this. Look at this triggered person. Bro, what's the positive side of the reaction? I'm tired of the damn negative. Then get the fuck out, bitch. And don't ban him, y'all. Moderators, don't ban bad. Look, the nigga said what's the positive side, but his name is Bad News VA 757. You dumb motherfucker. Who you talking to? Your whole existence, your name is a walking contradiction. Your name is Bad News VA 757, and you talking about you want the positive side. Kiss the positive side of my black ass. How about that? Don't ban him. Let him breathe.
A purpose. The position of the home and the amount of natural light in this house is what really helps the space feel a lot larger than it really is. The kitchen area is where majority of
that's not a kitchen.
Storage is. I love tools and I love high quality tools, so I have different types of scissors that I've collected throughout the years because it's just a great tool to have.
It's all collecting scissors. I'm sorry, she's not a hoe. You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize. You are not a hoe. You are a woman that operates with a minimalistic view, looking to get in an eco-friendly Oh, Jesus. This chick collects scissors, yo. And measuring tape.
I cook pretty much every day. This particular tiny house did not have a full kitchen. How I've solved for that is with a double burner that sits outside of the home. It functions extremely well.
I know what Newport News is. I know exactly what Newport News is. Ain't nobody thinking about that?
And is...
We don't do nicknames.
Completely sufficient to be able to cook. I think that the process of cooking is actually simplified because I need to be extremely efficient about how I prep ingredients. I'm also very aware of exactly what ingredients and how much are left over in my fridge. So in terms of guests, maximum, I've had 2 people stay in the outdoor space, but indoors I've only had 1 guest at a time. To the right of the kitchen is my bathroom, also very minimal and has open storage.
I'm surprised they ain't got plumbing. They even got plumbing in there. And you can see ain't no step up. You got to keep the sheet up in order to get the water. The water is going to be hitting the toilet. This is bad. I ain't rocking with that.
Which allows for more space. The bathroom sink face is one of my favorite features in the house. It's made of a recycled rubber. To the left of the living room and kitchen is my bedroom. The bedroom is my sanctuary. It's wonderful, and it's a full-size bed. The plywood that surrounds the bed creates this really serene and warm environment.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Yo, seriously. That place, honestly, my honest opinion, making an assessment right now. That place, if you got into an argument with her, if she get into an argument with a black man and he's a pookie, a nigga might come over and kick her house down. You probably can kick her house down. Shut the fuck up before I kick your bedroom down. It creates a serene environment. Shut the fuck up before I kick over your bedroom.
The light in the room is the main light that's completely adjustable to many different settings, which is also a very comfortable and soothing experience. The position of the bedroom allows me to sleep north, which is really great feng shui.
And she gets to sleep north, y'all. That's one of the benefits. She gets to sleep feng shui north.
I have no regrets about moving into a tiny house. What I was seeking was to feel grounded and to feel completely okay on my own. I think that's what really helped that transition not feel so jarring or difficult. There were definitely challenges, but realigning with what my values really were and what is like most significant in my life was what helped that transition.
She ain't gonna know no better until she get with a man and he be like, come on over my crib. Then she got listen, this is how she gonna have a reality check. So she's gotten used to this, right? And then she talked to a man, and let's say she get her a high value man, right? Because flatbacks always get high value men. And let's say she get with a high value man, and then he invite her over to the crib, and he got that big crib. He got multiple different bedrooms. They can spread out and watch Netflix. They actually got a TV, whereas you can't even have a TV in this place. And it ain't then that it's gonna hit her. It's gonna hit her when she got to go home. When she got to go home and she got to go back into that 2x4, into that jail cell, and then she going to hear her neighbor pull up in their car, and she going to ask him to cut their car off so that the carbon monoxide don't go over into her jail cell, that's when it's going to hit her, and that's when she going to have a different lifestyle change.
I think for those who are curious about tiny house living, the first thing I would do is to observe and take a look at your belongings and what really has meaning in your life and what is just a nice to have. I would start there and start to evaluate how you could potentially transition into a tiny house. I've thought a lot about designing tiny homes. So my longer term plans is to build a tiny house community.
Anyways, enough of this. I'm not doing it. Shout out to her though for living in a tiny home. She cute though. Let me read a couple of these. Kingdom Legacy is talking about Jalen Rose. Says, please get him a violin. Shout out to you. The accountability partner, AP, is in the building. Says, just stopping by. Been a minute. Much respect, big dog. Where is the accountability partner, Ben? And why is he just now stopping by? I appreciate you, but I'm going to need you to be able to stop in and kick it with us a little bit more often. Shout out to the accountability partner. Cliff Williams is in the building and said, single-family homes aren't going away. They're getting smaller. I see developers buying single home lots and building duplexes and fourplexes. I have my thoughts on that, but we're going to debate inside of the Patreon about that. Shout out to Shaquille R. Says, hey, AD, sorry if you answered the question already, but I wanted to know if, as a 22-year-old, I should get an IUL policy or continuing investing in the stock market. All right, so here's the thing. I think you should be dollar cost averaging, A. I don't want you to invest in the stock market. I want you to take a different perspective about how it is that you look at investing, because I want you to be investing in the companies that you admire the most, that you wouldn't normally have access to if it was privately owned. And when you look at it from that perspective, you start to make more informed decisions. And so first of all, let me break it down. A lot of y'all are not familiar with what dollar cost averaging is because you're so busy trying to invest in time in the market, right? You're trying to time whether the stocks is high or stocks is low. You basically need to automate the process of what you're doing as far as how it is that you're investing in the companies that you're invested in the stock market, or the, ETFs or whatever it is that you're investing in, instead of trying to look at it like I'm getting into the stock market. The stock market is just an avenue for you to be able to tap in to the companies that you wouldn't normally have access to. So what I'm basically telling you is I think you should dollar cost average. You should look at it long term. You should be investing in the companies and have a diversified portfolio and investing in companies that you carry, that you love the most, right? And it's 8 things that I look for when I'm looking to invest in a company. Never invest in something that you don't understand. Also, throw that in the box. And I think that you should use a 90-10. I call it the 90-10 rule. And 90% of what you invest within the market should be in blue chip companies that you actually understand. And then the other 10%, you can be a little bit more risky depending on how old you are, but you're only 22 years old. You take a set amount of what it is that you have in a budget and have that being invested every single time you're getting paid inside of the market. So that's what I would suggest for you. So shout out to you, Shaquille. I appreciate you for rocking out with us. Young Capsule is in the building. Says, wood, it's natural. I wanted to try to buy a bunch of land and building and buying a bunch of tiny homes to rent out. That's number 2. And number 3, I could live in a tiny home. Have fun with that. I'm not. Shout out to Bilderberg Boy. Says her bed is giving shoebox. Damn, my garage is bigger than her home. AD, you are right. This is part of the UN's 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. I agree. Shout out to Tricking Off Trucker / gun store manager. I appreciate you. Says, I got a short pawed whacker. Oh my God, this is so stupid. So dumb. I love me a flatback. So stupid. Jadarice is in the building. Says, Anton, I got a 500 square foot studio with a washer and dryer, walk-in closet, and a bathroom, no cap, but I'm in Oklahoma though. What does being in Oklahoma got to do with it? Levi Apparel is in the building. Says, Anton, look like my shop I built for myself for 10 bands. I appreciate that. David Ramsamy said, this is why women need husbands. I agree. Spaces is in the building. Says, no heating, no air conditioning, no booty, no space. Everything about this is a no. I need at least 1 bedroom and at least 1 little backside. Little bit of backside. Claustrophobic is 4 syllables, by the way. #backchasers. Shout out to Spaces. I appreciate you for holding me down. You threw in that 10 ball, so I got to give you that. Shout out to Jackadero. I appreciate Jackadero for holding me down. Chike Auto LLC is in the building. Says, bro, she's suffering right now. She needs a man to come and save her. Micah Woods is in the building. Says, hey, Anton, they should just buy my tiny house I have for sale. I just got my site up. Check it out. Don't know if you remember, we talked about it on the Patreon. Comes fully furnished and can be moved anywhere. Micah, send me the link to that. I love to see it. Appreciate you. Kush Combos TV says, send a link to join the live. No, not on the Friday. I got to go and take care of some business. Not today, but I appreciate you. Let me see if it's any that I missed. Aaron is in the building. Says, in Boston, I saw a 400 square foot studio for $4,900. Accountability Partner says, been grinding on the verge of something. We'll see. You'll be the first to know. You set me on this path. Well, shout out to you for that. John Jones is in the building. Says, should I use my 401k to purchase an investment property? No. A lot of people like to borrow from themselves or to withdraw. Never withdraw from your 401k, first of all. If you was to ever take money out from it, then you would borrow from yourself, but don't do that either, all right? We need to have a little bit more of a conversation as to what that looks like. Shout out to Freaky Jason. V. Scott is in the building. Says, Freaky Jason says when he got a 94 Tacoma to move her house when she want to relocate. Oh, Bilderberg Boy says, how does she even change the bed sheets? Damn, man. Spacer says she got to cook outside. Oh, my God, y'all out here. Does she have windows? Jesus. Y'all going in today. Let me give a shout out to the big dog in the chat. Ash is in the building. Ash, you are much appreciated. I really do love the fact that you continue to come through and support your boy. Thank you, Ash, for continuing to rock with me. I love you. I appreciate you. You are absolutely awesome, my friend. Yes, yes, yes. It has been a great week. I got to go and I got to run out and I got to go and take care of some business. I got somewhere to be by 2 o'clock. Yeah, man, it's been a day. It's been a very, very interesting week. But I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you guys for continuing to rock with me. I actually went on this live for longer, 25 minutes longer than I anticipated. But we got that bag to go and get, and I got stuff to do. So make sure y'all tune in to Fight Club tonight. I will be on Fight Club, but I will be in a different city on Fight Club. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Tez Talk is in there being crazy. Ash, let me give you another round of applause for rocking out with it. I love y'all. I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here. Do y'all know what the one more favor that we need to do before we get up out of here? Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you. Thank you, J-Dub. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all follow me on Threads. That link is in the description. And then also make sure that y'all tap in the Fight Club tonight. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.